Hello and welcome to the Louisville Cardinal TV, our news segment on the news for the Louisville Cardinal. I'm here with Olivia Krauth. Olivia, we're here to talk about your new cover story, correct?
Yeah, hope so.
So your new cover story, it prompts over the new chief financial officer. I believe
Right.
you said he was introduced about 10 months ago.
Yeah, it was January 5th was when you started here. So it's been 10 months, close to a year.
Okay. And his name was Harlan Sands, correct?
Yeah.
Now, where's Harlan Sands coming from?
He's coming from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, so UAB.
And was he just out of a job at the time? Did he leave his job to come here?
I believe he left his job to come here.
Oh, so there must have been, I believe you had said in the paper actually, it was that bleeding red kind of fan base that we
Yeah.
have here that really attracted him here.
Yeah, he really liked the fan base and how everybody was really happy to be here.
And hopefully he'll be happy to be here.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty happy so far.
So since he started with the new chief financial officer position, he seems to have come into a bit of a bad environment. People seem
Yeah.
to be getting a really bad kind of rap for him. They think that he's overbearing, that he's condescending. Maybe it's attributed to his first being here, to him coming into such a high position and just
Right.
coming out of somewhere not even Louisville, Kentucky based. What do you think about that?
I think it was really kind of just he showed up and he tried to make a lot of changes pretty quickly, and they were pretty big changes too. So they were just kind of like, why should we trust you with all these power plays and different things that he was doing? So
And you mentioned the biggest of his changes being to the SAC, a change that had been in progress for 4 years prior to him coming there.
right, yeah. He before that SGA had been working on it, like you said, for 4 years, and they were only going to use $9 million of student fees, and then they were going to start basically right after the meeting is what it seemed like. So February, end of February. So they were going to start last spring, and when Harlan walked in, that all changed. So they understandably weren't super thrilled.
But from what it looks like, it may have been actually a good change on the part for the SAC. It was, I believe, February where they tabled the meeting to see if he could come
Right.
up with another resolution. And as of last week, they approved it, and it's now going to be from being over $9 million for students to pay towards to being right at about $9 million.
Yeah,
$40 million overall, and from what it looks like, going from only 10% changes to the SAC to about possibly 20 or 30% of the SAC being
No.
overall hauled. More.
90% is going to be.
90%.
Yep.
So we have almost, what is that, a 900% increase from what they had first said it would be.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good start.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
know.
good start.
And if you've seen the pictures, it looks pretty great. So it's a complete 180 from what we have right now.
Do we have a projected date that this could be done possibly?
I believe it's supposed to start this coming July, and it should be finished like fall 2018, somewhere in that time area.
So all things considered, that's a pretty short time. I mean, the Speed Art Museum's been underway for about that same amount of time, and that's a lot
Right.
less changes than what he's proposing to do for the SAC.
Yeah, so we'll see how it happens.
We can only hope so. And another thing that you had talked about was his relationship with students and his
Right.
what a lot of people thought at first was his condescending attitude. And I saw that came across with the Cards United Against Sweatshops.
Right.
And we had a student that talked about that. Could you elaborate a bit more about his interactions with them?
Yeah, this group, the Cards United Against Sweatshops, they were working to get the JanSport contract with UofL, just like they wanted it gone. So they started meeting with a lot of senior administrators, and one of those was Harlan. So they just thought that he was just very rude and condescending. He threw a lot of jargon at them to kind of scare them away a little bit, so they didn't like that. Yeah.
But from what it looks like now, most people seem to agree with what he's doing. They seem to be totally behind him, backing a lot of the changes he's done.
Yeah, he seems to be a lot more, I guess, kinder. The person from CUAS described it as more cordial. So it looks like he's kind of changed his style around a little bit.
And we can hopefully expect only more better things to come from him.
Right.
He's already done the proposals for, you talk about in the front page about the new reorganization, the changing the businesses, and having the different people report directly to him, so there's less convolution, less
Right.
straight towards the point with him.
Yeah, that should be starting this semester after he hires the last few, I think it's associate vice presidents. to report to him.
And it's great to hear he's doing that many changes. So
Mm-hmm.
are we hoping that maybe in the future he'll be possibly presidential material, possibly something bigger in U of L? From what it looks like, we have some bright years coming to U of L.
Yeah, maybe. I would consider it, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for tuning in to the Louisville Cardinal. We hope to have a lot more news segments. And thank you, Olivia Krauth, for coming in.
No problem.